You know something I realized all this time in the spring getting ready for all these tomato plants, pepper plants, and all this stuff? We never even planted any herbs. What am I thinking? Let's talk about herb planting and a lot more on the homestead.
So we've got these garden markers. Let's start using them more. Some parsley, some rosemary, some basil, oregano, or as they say in Australia, oregano. We all got the time. Cilantro, not sure why, but salsa, and some mint. Mint does two things. Mint's good in teas and certain other recipes. It's also good to keep pests away. Who figures, huh? Let's try this out. Let's try some basil first. So right here. Let's mark them. She goes. Of course, now we got parsley. If we can get it open. Cover that up a little bit. Cover the basil up a little bit. Parsley. Ta-da! So if we know where they are, then we'll know they're not weeds. Cilantro. No bug. By the time all these come to fruit, the lettuce will be gone. There you go. Cilantro, where you at? There you are. All right. Do some thyme here. Ooh, little ones. There we go. A few thyme in there. Cover them up, cover them up, cover them up. Some oregano. What's up, Bourbon? What's up, little girl? What's up, little girl? Homestead guardian dog. Always watching out for me. Go. A few of those. Cover them up. some rosemary next. Go. Cover that up. Mark it. And then mint. Go. Now let's put some straw over the whole thing. After I mark this, here we go. And we're in.
So here's something I noticed. Come out here today, the workbench. So obviously something got into the magnolia seeds that I planted, along with the two other pots that I have going on here with raspberries. Here's one I bought from the store. Here's one we got from a vendor. Someone's getting into this. I'm not sure who it is. I'm not sure if it's a homestead pups or what. We're gonna fix this today too. Of course, there's the garlic harvest from this year, part of it at least. Gave some of it away. We already processed some of it into different containers. Let that dry out and let that cure for a while. And we'll go back to here after we find out what the sirens are all for. Yeah, welcome to the city. So we're back in the greenhouse. Here's the magnolia seeds that I saved from last year. Let's just take this and sort of recover this whole thing. Take the marker out of there. There's still some here that are growing, but the most of the growth it was going pretty well, is now not so much. So just take some of this dirt out of here. There we go. Take a red solo cup. There we go. Alright, try to save this little guy. And let's plant them again. Whatever's getting into them obviously doesn't care. So, and these will, when they start growing, we'll transplant them into individual containers and around the gardens. Had success with this process fairly well over the last few years, and I just keep on saving the seeds every year from the used up plants. Take this, put it over top, and now this is going to stay inside the greenhouse where I can keep it safe from any critters out there that are trying to harm it or trying to get to it, whatever it is. Put that back down in there. And take this little guy that actually survived and put him back in. There we go. And that's that. So let's water them in now. And this will drain through the bottom, so there's not too much water, but it also resists some of the water as well. Get it nice and soaked. It's now about 110 degrees in the greenhouse, so it shouldn't affect the seedlings that much. We got the vents open, so it's going to be pretty acclimated with a nice breeze. And whenever you see the water, sorry guys, whenever you see the water pooling on the bottom like that, that means you got enough water in them. We're good to go. Now that they're all nice and watered in, take your marker, because you know it's gonna whoop, 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 Magnolia. There it is. Put that back in there. We'll head out of the greenhouse again. And let's close this up here. Lock it up. There we go. I'm not too concerned with the raspberries. They'll be in the ground pretty soon. They're pretty tolerant to any pests or anything gets around them. Another thing we're going to discuss is these tomato cages. I guess they're sold as tomato cages. Well, so yeah, they are classified as tomato cages, but I've never had success unless you deal with tomatoes that are smaller, dwarf kind of tomatoes. So I take these tomato cages and use it for my peppers, and it does a pretty good job. And just shove it in here like that. That's all. Just put them down enough so they can start climbing up the inside of the trellis of the cage. Through the mulch, through the dirt. I should have done this one first. It's okay. Remember guys, these peppers were planted probably a week ago, 10 days-ish ago. So let's do this one over here first. I don't top my peppers, I just let them grow, and had a lot of success with these type habaneros in the past. Great for salsas, and these habaneros are no heat habaneros, which means they have the flavor of the habanero without the heat. Ran across these a few years ago, and they've done very well in this environment, at least. So there we go. Ta-da! Should be good. So let's talk about those pepper cages again that I made, that I bought from the store. They're great if you have them, but if you don't have them, you don't need them. It's all what I had at the time. So that's that. So what I have now is these green posts. These posts right here, I just stick them in the ground, and that is probably the same size as the pepper cage. I tied these little strings onto them, little baling wire, baling twine if you will, and I'll run those little stakes the entire way along this second bed of habaneros, and when it comes time, I'll just tie them up and they'll be good to go. The same thing goes with my tomatoes over here. So you have tomatoes in this row up so far. You have sunflowers, pollinators, tomatoes over here. That right there is going to be a difficult one. I'll discuss that in a little bit. But over here, regular beefsteak tomato, same rods in the ground, and that right there for each plant should be adequate for stability throughout the growing season. Now this right here is a mortgage lender, a mortgage lifter tomato. This single one right here, and I have two more in the other bed over there. That right there, this is my first time ever growing them. So bear with me. I don't know a whole lot about them. I've heard stories that they get extremely big with big fruit, and they're hard to keep up when they get into storms. So I'm going to take those and run a different system on those. What I have here is regular T-posts again, and they're about 4 foot. So we're eventually going to take one of these, slide it in the ground next to the tomato, and stake that up, give it a little more rigidity. So that goes over there. Another project we're trying to do, another green stock. Here's 2 other mortgage lifters right here. One right there, next to all the herbs we did the other day. And here's one over here, hidden by the garden gnome. So this lettuce will be gone by the time the tomatoes come to maturity, and it'll be pretty good. So that it shouldn't be a problem. And like I said, the mortgage lifters, I've never done it before. It's an experiment. If it works, great. If it doesn't, then another way not to grow a tomato. I have no idea how it's going to work. We'll see how it pans out here in the coming weeks. But let me tell you this, guys. When I made my last video, I had 60 subscribers, and I'm not sure what happened. It sure to hell can't be my pretty face. But now I have over 400, and I'm sincerely grateful. Maybe it's just who I am, or my persona, or my stupid jokes, or what, I don't know. I'm nervous. I'm still nervous doing this, but I'm sincerely grateful for each and every one of y'all that's following me along on this little path of growing stuff in the urban city environment. It's a fun time for me, de-stressing kind of thing for me. It's kind of a Zen atmosphere is what it is, and I'm really sincerely grateful for each and every one of you. That being said, I'm going to head inside pretty soon and maybe get the grills fired up, make some dinner for little miss, and a little bowl time. It's in the 70s right now. We're doing a nice Saturday evening, watching some TV and outside and enjoying the weather and our outdoor environment here. So I do appreciate each and every one of you. Until next time, peace. Hey, grow something cool. Enjoy your life. Have a good day. Bye-bye.